So hey, listen, if you don't know what cattle panel is, that's what this is here. It's a lot of people are using it as fencing, but it's really used on a farm with livestock, okay? It's heavy duty gauging. So a lot of people are using this as fencing, and it looks very contemporary. And I'm going to use it for a gate. I've got to cut a groove in my 2x4 to accept the cattle panel like that, so I can build a frame around it. Hi everybody, I'm Leah of seejanedrill, and if this is your first time here, I just want to say welcome. We're a home improvement channel. We're beginners. Well, they're welcome as well. We don't take anything for granted in terms of what you know or you don't know. Now, today's video is an interesting video because it kind of touches on something where you may not know about it. Now, I'm in the process of building a gate here in the shop out of, well, I'm going to build a wooden frame, and I'm going to use something called cattle panel. If you don't know what that is, you're not alone. You kind of got to grow up on a farm to know what cattle panel is. But it's become very, very popular in terms of building contemporary fences and contemporary gates. So that's what I'm going to be doing in my shop today. And I thought, you know what, this is a perfect time to really share how to cut a groove in 2x4, because it can be kind of tricky. Let me show you what I mean. Now we're going to cut a groove in the wood like this here. Now the difference between a groove and a dado is a groove goes with the grain and a dado goes across the grain. So that's the first thing. Now here's why it's a tricky cut. When you're feeding a piece of wood through the blade, you don't want your fingers anywhere near the blade, and as you push, that thumb there is too close. Now what makes this a tricky cut when you're cutting long, narrow pieces of stock like a 2x4 is you're pushing it through the blade, okay? And you have to push down on your stock and at the same time push against your stock because you want it resting firmly against the fence. So downward pressure and pressure next to the fence, all right? I'm feeding the piece of wood through. I remove this hand. I push, I push. I want you to notice how close my thumb is to that blade. So that's what makes cutting a groove a tricky cut, but I'm going to show you how to do it safely. So what you want to do is you want to use a push stick, okay? And it's going to keep your hands away from the blade. So that takes care of the downward pressure, right? Well, the sideway pressure, because you want to make certain that your stock is resting up against the fence, that's where a feather board comes in, and that's what this is. This is how you use it. It rests right in your table saw, all right? And it's adjustable. And you press it up against your stock and tighten it into place. And what that does is it allows you to exert pressure against that fence and then also use your push stick to feed it through. So what you want to do is you want to set your feather board in the in-feed position of the blade. That means before the blade. You don't want to be here. You want to be right before the blade, again, in the in-feed position. So this is the finished product. This is the finished top rail of my fence gate. And what I will tell you is I had to make several passes. Now I can make the same cut with the dado set, but I decided just to use the saw blade that was on the table saw. So that's it, folks. That's how you cut a groove in wood using a feather board. You know, that'll keep you safe. That'll keep all 5 of these, right? Now, before I go, I want to say this to you, and that is this. If you find the seejanedrill videos helpful, well, can I encourage you to subscribe and ring the bell while you're at it, because we upload twice a week, and you'll be notified the moment we upload. This is Leah saying you can do this. See you next time.